My joy to introduce you to Sister Sarah Burdick. For those of you who don't know her, she is our Mother Superior. So, oh yes, so Sister Sarah,
hi, good to see you.
I know you said that you had a great Catholic joke. It sounds like we heard it.
Yeah, yep, it's already been told, so that's okay.
Your sense of humor is well known, though.
Well, as Bugs Bunny says, don't take life too seriously because you're not getting out alive.
Bugs Bunny, he is one of our greats. He does not get referred to often enough.
Do you mind if I drink tea during this interview?
I'll ask you a question right before you sip.
Okay, go.
Okay, when did you first hear the Lord? Okay, so actually, but why don't you tell us a little bit about your background, your family?
All right, I grew up in a Catholic home, 7 kids, 6 girls, 1 boy. Do not feel sorry for my brother. I trained him. He is not a sissy. But anyway, so I grew up, as I said, in a Catholic home. By the time I got to high school, I would say I was ready to look for something else. I wanted to follow the Lord, but I wasn't finding it in the church, quite honestly. And I remember very clearly, well, let me back up a little bit. I had a real experience of the Lord, giving my life completely to the Lord when I was in 9th grade. By the time when I moved to Ann Arbor to go to the University of Michigan, I thought, I can live the Christian life all on my own. I don't need anybody. I can do this by myself. You know what that is? That's called stupid. Really stupid. And at that time, I was sort of church shopping because, as I said, I just wasn't finding it in the Catholic Church. I found it to be just same old, same old, same old. So I did do a little church shopping. And what happened was I would go to these different churches and I thought something's missing. You want to guess what was missing? The Eucharist, the Eucharist. And even though at that time in my life, I wasn't super solid in my Catholic faith, I knew that I was missing the Eucharist. So blessed be God, I met some people here in Ann Arbor who are absolutely radical in their love for the Lord. And that's when I realized, you know what? Let's stop being stupid. Let's take a position of humility and say, I can't live this life on my own. I can't be a Christian on my own, first of all. And then, go ahead, ask me a question.
I don't want to cut you up. It's such a beautiful story. It really is. I think many of us have had that faith struggle of some kind, right? And to have been able to identify that it was the Eucharist that was missing. That is so foundational, so pivotal, and the source and summit of our faith. So beautiful that you could articulate that in your journey. So just for a little context, we know the punchline. You said yes to the Lord. You became a sister.
How did you know? Yes, indeed.
And then superior. And of course, that's speeding us right up to present day. But to go back just a bit.
Sure.
In your growing up, did you have exposure to sisters? Did you know, did you have any personal relationships with other than maybe your pastor? Yeah,
I did. And I went to a Catholic school 1st through 6th grade, and I was taught by some sisters there. And I wasn't necessarily thinking that's what I want to do. That's who I want to be. But I was fascinated with them. And then I have she's deceased now, of course, but a second cousin who was a religious sister and a second cousin who was a priest. So they were brother and sister. So yeah.
So you had that Catholic heritage, the upbringing in your family. So as you got to that point where you said you came to Ann Arbor, you met this community or these wonderful people that were on fire for the Lord in a larger community and the sisters. Can you give us a story of a moment of clarity that helped you in your discernment?
Sure. Well, which one do you want? Oh, yes. Well, okay. I remember, if I back up just a little bit, I remember thinking, you know, I would love to be married and have 1 million kids, you know, and I always say this, have my own sports teams, right? Softball team, baseball team, football team, soccer team. Hey, and in the pandemic, that's pretty handy. So
sports can live.
Hey, right. So you know, and marriage is a beautiful vocation, right? So I was very interested in that. But at the same time, I experienced the Lord pursuing me. What do I mean by that? Like giving me this desire to really talk to the sisters, find out what makes you tick, so to speak. Why are you living this way of life? And I could see that it was radical and it was very attractive to me. But now I'm in a dilemma because there's a choice between two goods. There's marriage on the one hand, which is very good. And there's religious life, which is also very good. And I'll never forget, I found myself, maybe you do this sometimes in the store, you know, do I get Cocoa Krispies or do I get this? Do I get this or that, right?
Lucky Charms.
Lucky Charms. Oh no, Lucky Charms bad. But anyway, what happened, I really experienced the Lord sort of breaking in, you know, not an audible voice, but it was very clear to me that it was the Holy Spirit. How do I know that? Because I never would have thought of this. And some of you have heard this before. What the Lord said to me was, stop pursuing a decision. You see, I was pursuing marriage or consecrated life. Stop pursuing a decision. Pursue your relationship with me first and foremost. And then it will be made clear to you. I can't tell you the peace that I experienced when the Lord said that to me. I just went, oh, I can do this, right? So that's what I did.
That's so beautiful.
And then it became very clear, very clear. See, now look, the Lord didn't write it in the sky. Have you ever seen those sky writers? Do you know what I'm talking about? The airplanes that put messages.
Sure.
Okay. See, God knows me very well, because if that were written in the clouds, I would say, oh, what a coincidence. You know,
somebody out there is saying this.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But the Lord, and this is for all of you, the Lord knows exactly how to speak to each one of your hearts. And he speaks differently to each one of us. And so what the Lord said to me was, if you choose marriage, I will bless you. If you choose consecrated life, I will bless you. But then the fine print came in, that little whisper, but I prefer to have you for myself. Oh, I'm butter. I melted. I'm like, oh, wow. Now, you know what would be stupid? If I said, no thanks to an offer from a perfect spouse. That would not be smart, right? But you see, here's the point. The Lord said he would bless me in either vocation. And then he let me know his preference. And I was so grateful for that.
That is so beautiful.
Is it?
It is.
Well,
it's
why
so
aren't you
beautiful.
I'm just
crying
kidding.
inside.
Oh, me too. No, it is. And I love sharing this story because, you know, it's been a great, great joy. It's the greatest blessing of my life. Has it always been a piece of cake?
Yes.
No, no, it's not. It hasn't always been easy, but you know, it's trials that make you stronger. So
it's a love story, really.
It is a love story.
It's a relationship. So there's, with every relationship, even though one side is perfect, one party is perfect,
right?
There's so much in ourselves that needs working out, and that the Lord needs to heal us of and make us more whole in. But yeah, that's such a beautiful story.
Did you want to ask me if there was any kind of a temptation?
Yes. So Sister Sarah, was there any kind of a temptation? You know, actually, especially as you described that you could identify these as two great goods. I imagine that didn't just go away.
Oh, of course not.
Once the
no.
fine print came through.
No, you know, and people think like, yeah, you know, you decide to live religious life and you don't notice cute guys anymore. I mean, let's just be honest, okay? Okay, so here's what happened. I had moved into.
This is so fun. This is very fun. Just saying.
So I moved into the sisterhood, and I was part of a group called it was the University Christian Outreach. So it was a student organization, and we had a retreat. So the retreat was sort of like within a week of me moving in to the sisterhood. Well, here comes the temptation part.
I'm ready.
Okay.
I think we're
ready. I remember it was maybe after a talk or something on a retreat, and one of the brothers walked by who was part of University Christian Outreach, and I was like, oh my gosh, brother to die for. Oh. And then another one went by the other way. I'm like, oh no, another one. What have I done? And in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, as soon as this retreat is over, I'm moving out. I had been there, what, a week, maybe 5 days, maybe 4. I'm moving out. I made a horrible decision. I'm putting my name in the bulletin and saying, I moved out, everybody. I'm available. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay. But the Lord, oh, he's so good. Because what I believe the Lord prompted me to do was to pray, to say, wait a minute, this could very well be a distraction. So I prayed. I just said, Lord, you know what? If you want me to stay where I am, continue to pursue you in consecrated life, please just take this away. So what do you think happened? During lunch, there goes the brother who to die for. It's like, hey, what's up, dude? You know what I mean? It was like the attraction was not there.
Wow. So he really removed that as a gift to you.
Right, exactly,
Wow.
Exactly.
Well, I think a profound part of that story that we can really all take from that is realizing that, and we hear this all the time, but I think especially there's a way that women have, because we are heart led, that it can be so much discipline, so much self-control, so much of that is required because emotions can be so high,
right,
and feelings can be so strong, and it's important to bring that to the Lord and say, direct my feelings, help me,
right.
That's so beautiful. So thank you for sharing that.
Oh, anytime.
What a delight. Isn't she delightful? She's
God
very
is
fun as a
delightful.
superior, let me tell you. She was my teacher, by the way, in high school, 2 years.
She was a very good student.
I did well in that class.
She did.
But it's because she's so engaging. She's just a natural teacher.
I love Jesus.
I was going to say, your love for the Lord comes through, and it's just
Praise God.
attractive.
Thank you for joining us for iContact.
We started this event because we believe the Lord desires every woman to discern her vocation.
Freely, peacefully, and joyfully.
To attend the next iContact,
Click the registration link in the description below.
to watch the previous iContact,
Click here,
and did you know that we have a video about our community?
and the trailer is right here.
Don't forget to
Subscribe and like our channel.